This IKEA Rust makeover cost me 18 euros. It also involved one total idiot mistake that cost me several hours of my life. This was my second Rust chest makeover, so of course I thought it would be easy. Until it wasn't. I had bought 2 of these back in 2018 for 25 euros a pop, and recently I was about to chuck them out, but then I saw that IKEA now sells the exact same chest for 60 euros. Like seriously? So instead of chucking them, I decided to upcycle them using mostly leftovers from previous DIY projects and our last apartment reform. Total spend for this one, 18 euros. And everything went absolutely fine, except for one idiot mistake. I started by taking everything apart and filling all the screw holes and dents. This phase involved a few rounds of wood jizz. Oh, so just as an aside, Dirk and I have our own DIY terminology. We basically use jizz as an umbrella term for pretty much any stickish construction material. So wood filler, wall spackle, cement, tile glue, grout, silicone, it's all jizz. Anywho, while the wood jizz dries, I remove those quality plastic drawer rails to fix and glue back later on with some glue jizz, of course. Then I remove those original IKEA plastic legs and build a hidden base for some proper metal legs that I bought for 18 euros. The base is nothing fancy, I'm just using some plank offcuts I had lying around. I cut them to size and position them behind the bottom board, which I repositioned forward slightly. A bit more jizz and some more sanding to cover up the screw holes. All going swimmingly so far. At this stage, I was feeling extremely competent. Painting tends to be my favorite part in a transformation. I start with a dark gray paint concoction that I dry brush randomly over the chest to tone down that turquoise paint job of mine and the white wood jizz areas, like so. This will be my vintage look base that I'll later reveal by sanding back down to it in places. New legs on, nice one. Then just a single vintage white chalk paint layer on top. Slightly rusty tin since this paint has hung around for a while. No problem, a bit of rust totally adds to the vintage look. It's already starting to look good at this stage. After the paint job, I sanded everything back to get that slightly worn vintage look with a few glimpses of the dark and turquoise layers underneath. I do this sanding mostly by hand, so I have more control over when it looks exactly how I want it to. With everything looking imperfectly vintage, I give it a couple of layers of finishing wax. First, with a yellow semi-clean rag, which immediately sheds fluff everywhere. Then again, after picking off all the yellow fluff, with a proper clean microfiber cloth. At this point, the chest was almost done, and I was very pleased with myself. Next, I put the handles on. I still had these left over from the other Rust chest makeover. Here's my ingenious masking tape trick that ensured the handles are exactly on the same spot on each drawer. Very pleased with myself and my clever methods. Pim pam poom, drawers done. Super efficient. All that was left was to put the drawers back in. This is where I realized I had forgotten one obvious detail. I hadn't actually made sure that the drawers still fit after repositioning the bottom board. Duh! Especially stupid considering that I had triple checked this on the first Rust chest I did. But on this one, apparently I skipped the whole thing. So the bottom drawer didn't actually close. What a muppet. Well, my terminology at the time was a bit more explicit. This is when my poor neighbors got to hear my entire repertoire of swear words. Because by this point everything was already screwed, glued, nailed, filled, sanded, painted, sanded again, and waxed. If I just thought about it or checked sooner, this wouldn't have been an issue at all, or at worst a quick fix. But nope, that would have been too easy. Instead, I got to have a lot of fun sanding the bottom board down millimeter by millimeter, checking the fit, sanding again, rechecking again, and repeating this painstaking process more times than I care to admit. once that frigging drawer finally closed without a hitch, I then had to fix the damage control damage, repaint the dark layer, repaint the white layer, sand it back again, and re-wax again. That's what you get for not checking your work. Eventually though it worked. Hey! The drawers now all close and slide properly, nothing catches or sticks out. The chest finally looks the way that it was meant to all along. All in all, not bad for 18 euros and one idiot mistake. Thanks for watching! If you want to see the other RAST chest I did, it's a slightly more ambitious one, I'll link it below.